really good Timbersaw pick, honestly. Like, of course, it's into the strength heroes. They also don't have like great damage in laning phase to really slow him down. So, yeah, I do think they have a lot of potential because of that. But knowing OG, they're going to look to just run at them and try to take advantage of the fact there's an Alchemist, right? They're going to try to make sure that they can actually just play with this number advantage at all times. But right off the bat here, see Viking GG, a very good chunk of aggression.
Yeah, that they attempted that aggression. Game 1 didn't actually work out for them in the end. And their run, like the idea of running a bunch of aggression straight into a Timbersaw, you know, with all of these strength heroes, that's a bit concerning to me.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just see how it plays out for them. Is there a chance that they does their lineup, because it was such a good Timbersaw game, I'm sure OG may have exposed themselves a bit to that, but like, did they mess up with their lineup a little bit by drafting the Timbersaw? It's an amazing Timbersaw game, yes, but are they lacking anything as a result of that last pick?
I think it's exactly what the panel said. It's just to catch the extra amount of lockdown, because the one thing that can happen in this game is just, even if you doom a target, maybe the IO doesn't even this rook relocate, he can just heal the target, and they can just back themselves up. So I do think that their catch could be quite limited because of this Timber. And it's like, their initiation, it's like they lack a couple things now in their draft now because of it. Sure, they're going to have crazy amounts of damage provided, but like, who's going to make the moves around the map, right? Like, it's going to have to be the Timber, but those can be a bit awkward when you don't have great setup in your side lanes. At least he's got Snapfire, but...
Frenchman of OG finds the first blood thanks to that Wind Ranger power shot. Nice opening there from Saksa to set it all up, so he's already going all right. Boom actually forced to use the healing salve, but this is pretty typical of Timbersaw. He's going to have to use 1 round of regen, but now that he's level 3, has that second level of reactive armor, he should just be fine to trade out with Topson.
Yep. Only way they can get a kill is with some type of rotation and toss back or something like that now, unless Boom makes a very big mistake versus his Tiny. Shackle connects again. Can't actually chase forward though.
It's something that Topson is going to have a chance to maybe try and show up Boom a little bit here in this game 3 with a Tiny performance, because he is matched up against a Timbersaw who can't make those same kind of rotations like the Tiny can. Topson may have kind of a free game in that regard.
Yeah, and it's a Topson Tiny. I mean, we've seen what this man can do, especially at TIs where he just runs rampant, and that's what he likes to do. He likes to just play incredibly aggressive. Toby will be able to survive up here, but this top lane is not doing well. The Sven IO is crushing them pretty hard. They expended a lot of mana on the initial, right? I think they used, what, 2 Ion Shells, maybe more than that, just to pressure OG, and OG now just sustained through it. They're going to do pretty well up here. They have the ice armor now. That's actually very nice to stop any type of aggression from OG, and they're actually glyphing the wave. I think that may have been a mid-glyph from the Timbersaw, actually.
Yeah, how do you fight into a Doom that has an Ion Shell on him? Scorched Earth and that Frost Armor. That's quite a hefty amount to deal with. Topson already being pushed out of his lane. He's going to be feeling the pressure of that Tier 1. Similar situation to what we were talking about before, which is the fact that one hero may have all the rotations, but there's going to be a lot of pressure on his mid tower if he chooses to try and move around to those side lanes, and we're already seeing that amping up with the Timbersaw.
Yep. Bottom lane, the OG. I guess it's just like they're just going to deal with it, right? They're going to be like, okay, Timbersaw's going to have a game, whatever. We're going to do what we do and just pressure the Alchemist, play our own game. And Shad is getting pressured pretty hard as well, too. I mean, those 2 side lanes, like we said, OG's looking to have a really solid start. The one thing that we are looking to have, though, for OG is some stacks. Even though the Sven's having a good time, I think that's what Sven just needs to be a Sven.
Topson, he wants that power rune so badly to refill his bottle. He needs it too, and it's a regen, which makes it that much sweeter for him. They do manage to kill Sox in the bottom lane. He's been getting super aggressive, and it looks like he got his hand caught in the cookie jar.
Yep. Looked like they were maybe attempting to do like a pull there from No-Tail. Maybe wanted to stun him to stop him from catching it, but unable to get it so much.
You and BSJ were talking backstage about the Sven. What was the conclusions you guys came up to?
I mean, this hero just needs stacks. He's picked a lot in NA. Not so much, I guess, in the EU region, he was saying. I haven't played that many EU pubs, at least, but yeah, this hero looks really good in NA pubs because NA pubs just hit creeps. That's all they do. They stack and hit creeps, so Sven just gets these crazy item timings early, and then he's too tanky for people to fight, and they run into him. I mean, I think that's just always tends to be the best strategy for that hero.
And I remember one thing they talked about. Celery, he's gonna die here. Just gets out with damage he can. The change up to the Dispel talent, which was always ignored at level 20, even though it was always theory crafted, like, oh, we can be really good, but it was like, at level 20, I don't remember what the other talent was at the time, but the other one was just too valuable. Now, it's at level 15, and it feels so good.
Yeah, I think it was, what, it was 25% lifesteal or something, I think it was?
Like that,
yeah, it was something crazy that he would get. But yeah, now you get it at 15, and then you probably have an Aghanims, and it's so hard to actually play around it, because usually it's like, oh, an Ag Sven is flying at me, I pop Ghost Scepter, I pop Yules, but no, he brings you out of it and then just smashes you down anyway, so that's definitely a great point there, Cap.
And it, I believe how pretty much all abilities work is that the disable happens first. So he dispels you, and he's also going to get the Aghanims hit in, as well as all the stun damage.
Oh, nice vacuum, pulling him back.
And then we're going to try and stick on top of him with the Ion Shell. Of course, with the IO, it makes it a little bit more difficult to do these things.
Yep.
All right, this is going to be one of those times where OG's probably going to have to do something to answer this Timbersaw. Yeah. He can just tank the tower and let the Siege Wagon do all the pushing.
It's a rotation. I was going to say, Topson has to start either making moves or... I'm not sure what he does because he can't play in that mid lane by himself.
Yeah, it's not like he's like, guys, come gank the Timbersaw for me. Elder Titan and Io. That's not the duo you're looking at to kill a Timbersaw.
He'd have to call in the Wind Ranger, in particular, just for that extra magic damage. But, boom, he's prepared. He's like, okay, they do have decent burst damage at sometimes versus me, but at a range drop on top, no way they're going to bring him down unless he is insanely far forward and OG...
Oh, he already lost a ton of heroes. When did that happen?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I saw the Dire one was up, and so I assumed his was still alive as well. Mid-one, he's going to be chased down here. The Scorched Earth, it's taking him down. 2 HP, caught by the vacuum. That'll bring him down, but Topson is here with the reprisal. Will manage to kill Aramis.
He wants the next. Toby, very low. Surge still on CD. Trying to speed toward him. He tosses in the IO.
Over the IO. Yeah. That'll get the kill.
And to get the courier, maybe? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, that's quite a big chunk of gold. Wards coming into play too now. We see Elder Titan starting to ward up the Alchemist jungle, and
middle tower is under attack.
I believe that's the bottom tower taken by this Wind Ranger.
Okay.
That's very early.
Yeah, we're talking about like how Timbersaw is going to take this mid tower early if OG doesn't do something. Well, they are doing something. They're putting a lot of pressure on the side lanes.
Oh, and no way.
Shutting down Shad's game.
Perfect.
Oh, I mean, Topson's game is just complete. That is such a big kill because the Alchemist is farming really well, even though he's pressured bottom. He jumps up to level 8 top net worth just because of that. That's, I mean, that's crazy significant. And he gets a courier. Okay.
OG just pulling out W's everywhere here.
Yeah, and look at their warding that they have already down. This is the anti-Alchemist warding. We see all your jungle. Alchemist has no free place to go except for just in the bottom lane, and he's going to be versus Wind Ranger, who's pretty damn farmed. A Javelin already coming out on the courier, so could definitely see Seb +1 go for solo, go for these kills onto anyone.
Well, Celery, he's been a bit of a punching bag for OG, and it doesn't seem to be changing anytime soon as Seb finds a free kill inside the jungle thanks to all this aggressive vision that they have down. One behind the tier 1 tower in mid, another one deep inside that Radiant jungle.
Oh, they know they're here. Topson, they're going to cut the trees with the tether.
Revealing all of them, they managed to get the avalanche toss combination on Toby, easily killing him. Aramis is still going to fight this out. They haven't stun anywhere. Boom's going to come in with the damage, but it's not quite enough. No tail, he'll also TP out, seeing as the Infernal Blade still on cooldown.
I think this is where Aramis goes and you eat a Centaur creep as soon as possible, because this is immediately you already start to notice this is the problem with their draft that's going to come into play is lack of disables in a lot of these situations. Right there, early on in, we do see that coming in.
Middle tower is under attack.
Chad. Gotta get hit by the stomps here. Tiny Topson, he's getting close. Can't quite get on top of him there, though. Nice little pickup from Shad. This is small, but going for the treads, double bracers, and he gets a shovel. Any type of HP you can get on this Alchemist, I think, is pretty damn nice.
Yeah. It's all about surviving through the tiniest burst. Mid-one surprises Toby, pops the ultimate, and fights into this duo with the power shot over Aramis, it's almost enough to get the kill. Sadly, Stormhammer not up for quite some time, as he does only have a 1 level. Topson's going to come in from the side. No Tail switches partners now. Gets the tether to Topson to help get that kill.
Is under attack.
Looks like a Topson tiny to me, right?
Yeah.
Had a bad mid lane, almost top net worth anyway because of his movements.
And it looks like they're finally maybe going to get this mid-tier 1 tower, but they have lost so much ground in the side lanes at this point in time that I'm not sure how much of a difference it really makes. Look at that, Topson just going right back in. He's not going back to mid.
Oh my god, no. Get the freak. Oh, Toby's game is over. Poor Toby. Just getting slaughtered up in that top lane over and over again.
He's certainly being canceled.
It's, yeah.
2-9, 3,000 net worth lead for OG. And Timbersaw, I mean, he's taking it out, right? He's like, I gotta, like with Timbersaw, you feel like you kind of have to get that first item. You need to be able to take that tower, whatever lane you're in. It feels like you kind of need to take that 1 tower before you start rotating around. But it feels like Boom may not have the time to just kind of chill out in mid lane any longer. And
like he desperately needs a hood now in this game. You know, we're talking about how tanky he is, how tanky he is, how tanky he is. He's not that tanky anymore. They've got the levels where their burst damage actually comes into play. A Tiny who's level 8, 9, Sven level 8 as well. Like all these spells are starting to get to their level 4, so that high magical burst will be there. So it's definitely a different game than Viking expected.
The one-man smoke.
He's like, I'm gonna doom him. I'm gonna purge the win run.
Where's Timbersaw now? Celery's there to be able to pull it. Aggro. Relocate up to the top lane to be able to sandwich in Toby.
Oh man, they don't want him to have a game. Playing
They really don't.
Oh, playing versus so many stuns is really tough.
They did stop that TP, I think, from Saksa, so it looks like they might be able to kill him. He's going to try and juke Boom, and he had a lot of charges there, so he's actually good.
And the Doom bottom wasted very quickly. As we said, this is going to be the name of the game probably, is you Doom and there's no one else to follow up and catch. 2-10 OG running away with this early game. He's got the hood finished up now though.
Pops him over. Cookie does land onto Seb. One of the few spells they have to help the Timbersaw keep his damage on the members of OG, but it's not enough. Especially with the lead that they have, 3,000 net worth up, they're just able to just play in and out non-stop.
Oh, okay, it looks like he just stole the creep there. Shad has to be very careful of OG just constantly running in.
Blink Dagger going up, Topson. It looked like for a moment, like, oh, maybe he's in a bit of a trouble, but no disables. Nothing to stop him when he's got a bunch of heroes nearby.
And they're doing this all the meanwhile. The Sven just farms. We see mid one starting to tick toward that top net worth. Same thing with the Alchemist. Sven matching the farm of an Alchemist is a very good sign for OG.
Yeah, certainly.
Mid.
And they finish up this tower finally. And they do get the deny.
Oh, poor Boom. He worked so hard.
He did. He's been trialing at this for quite some time, but in the end, doesn't get the full subscription. Aramis dove behind the tier 1 tower, and boom, he's gonna teleport over, and they do manage to get the stun. Maybe this is enough to actually kill Seb, but No Tail heals him up so much and relocates him out. And again, the problem is even as they see some of these heroes, like Topson here, there's no real threat keeping him locked down. If anything, Topson's gonna use Blink Dagger aggressively to catch Toby, and boom, is left wandering around, watching OG do things, but can't really have an impact.
They can't catch anybody. They can't stop OG from just running around in circles. Yeah. They're actually just dancing on them. And mid one's like, thank you, I'm farming this entire time while you guys are just goofing on them.
Literally running circles. Even on Viking GG.
And just stealing his creeps. I think that's like the third one that they've taken from him at that hard camp. Bullies.
5,000 net worth lead for a lineup that's up against an Alchemist.
Uh-oh. Sorry. Topson, he wants the bigger target.
He jumps down and does manage to hit Topson, and as a result, Aramis managed to get in the trees. Now he's still dead. I was going to say, oh, they're going to have to dive really deep, and maybe Viking GG can do something with that. Well, they're going to try. Vacuum in, Min1 going to be slowed down. Here comes the Snapfire ultimate, and there goes that effectiveness of the Timber Saw. You saw how he was able to just cut down that Sven. Goes from half HP to nothing. Dodges away from Sox's attempt at a stomp. Boom. The higher levels of Timber Chain can still catch up. Sox knows he has to juke this Chakram, but Woom does manage to get the kill. Just ever so barely, thanks to the Ion Shell.
I think he would have lived it without that Ion Shell.
Yeah. Oh, the illusion from Toby with an Ion Shell on him killed No-Tail.
Game slightly recovered.
Yeah.
Still slightly. He's got, I think he has mech at least finished up now, but he's still very fragile versus the burst combo that's coming out from OG.
Yeah, I mean, they killed the Sven. It's not just about the kills, right? But during that time, Alchemist was farming while the Sven died, so he can actually catch up and maybe get the lead that he's supposed to have on the opposing core.
That's one thing that I'm glad that was just brought up, though. Look at the hero levels. Sven, almost level 13. Alchemist is level 9.
Yeah.
So he might have his Radiance finished up, but look at that comparison. It's 2,000 HP just because of these raw stats. He's going to have SNY finished, so it's going to be even higher than that. Alchemist, not going to be near that point. Level 9. That is actually... Level 9, 16 minutes is something you don't see very often on your safe lane carry.
They're going to try and fight with this Radiance. They do manage to lead off with a stun on mid-1, pulls him back inside the Chakram.
Nice.
They do make pretty good mincemeat out of good old Sven. Chop him up to size. OG are still willing to fight because, of course they are. They're OG. Oh. They're going to toss back the Timbersaw into the rest of the team. Try and go for the stomp. He's stopped from being able to Timber Chain away, but that reactive armor is still doing him a good amount of work. And if they're focusing on the Timbersaw, it means Shad is free to run and play with this Radiance. A two-man stun thanks to the unstable concoction. No-Tail managing to dodge a couple of those shots will survive. It looks like they're going to have to back away. Topson, he's here. No Blink Dagger up for another 6 seconds.
That could have been close for them. If they got the shackle on the Timber, if it connected, he probably would have died there, but weren't able to quite get it. Still looking for him, though.
Here, Boom. Taking a lot of damage, relocate in. Seb, he's here. They're going to try and chase down Boom. Now, he's still got enough HP to survive through a shackle combination, but the Alchemist, that's a better one. Shad in serious trouble here. Saw the relocate, but still got caught by the shackles instead of Boom. I thought that would have been an easy retreat, but it looks like not. And Aramis, who'd been farming this top lane the entire time, TP's in, immediately dies. Seb laughing his ass off here, seeing you realizing that Viking GG have just made critical back-to-back errors.
By the way, this is a tiny version of Timbersaw in the mid lane. Godlike at the 17-minute mark, just running around. Seb, as we pointed out, full MKB, so he actually does damage.
Yeah.
This is looking very strong from OG. This is just OG's bread and butter. Constant aggression. Mid one dying here and there a couple times during that aggression, but he's still top of net worth. And it's Viking. It's just the catching problem. They can't get good catches. I mean, they're probably praying for a clumsy net. Because they do need some other forms to be able to just have these heroes not be able to just walk away.
Yeah.
But yeah, win run, tether, everyone's moving so fast.
And the worst part is like, nice. Invis Rune turns into a toss back onto Toby. He's close enough to Seb that Seb will finish the job.
Jeez.
These, it's not like they can naturally build into an item to solve that disable problem either. Like, what are you gonna do? Get a Rod of Atos on Timbersaw? That sounds real booty.
Yeah.
You try and get like a Blink Dagger Centaur stun onto Doom, but he's a support. Like, that's not gonna be that reliable anyway.
Radiant's top tower.
Yeah, definitely starting to see, even though, you know, you see 4 strength heroes, looks like a glorious Timbersaw game, we're starting to see the flaws. We're starting to see what they're really lacking in the grand scheme of their draft. The lanes also, as we said, they got pressured hard. Shad shows himself in lane. Easy kills versus that relocate. They're starting to really snowball.
Thanks to this relocate, Sven is not only joining in on some of these fights and getting kills, but he is keeping up his farm at a pace that is well ahead of the Alchemist at this point. Once he gets his BKB, it may just be go time for OG to put some real pain on
It already is.
some objectives. Boon's not getting out alive. Reactive armor is nothing to Seb now that he's got MKB plus the Grove Bow.
Yeah. And Topson looking for more. He'll be able to find Celery. Can he get the toss back? He sure can.
Throws him over to mid one.
Dice are scanning.
Gives him the old alley-oop for the double kill.
Radiant's top tower
This
is
feels,
under attack.
this actually feels like unfixable here from Viking.
Yeah.
This is one of those games where everything has gone far too wrong. Your off
Radiant's
lane and your
top
safe
tower
lane
has fallen.
have no game.
Yeah.
And then your mid Timbersaw, who could have had a good game, just doesn't have the heroes to play around him
Radiant's
to make him
middle tower
look
is under
good.
attack.
So he's suffering every time he shows.
And a big difference between the Alk versus Void matchup, where there is, thanks to Abyssal Blade, plenty of opportunities for Alk to 100-0, even through BKB perhaps.
Yeah.
But here, Sven is an entirely different story, right?
Yeah. Sven can stand toe-to-toe pretty easily versus that Alk, especially with this type of farm.
Yeah, the only thing that was really making him squishy in this game was the Whirling Death, the Timbersaw. Now that he's got BKB, he deals with that pretty easily. Stomp goes out. Toss over. Trapped inside the Avalanche, stun from the Stormhammer, fishes him off, and look at that, into the back line. Seb just fearlessly goes in, cleans up at least some of the supports. They're gonna buy back here in Viking GG. They're all in on this fight at this point in time. Min1 still has BKB. He's still ready to turn and fight with the relocate coming in from No-Tail. They're gonna try and do just that. A heal comes out, and Min1's up to full health. They're gonna continue to buy back. Viking GG, they are gonna throw everything they have to be able to win one good fight against OG. Now the BKB is worn out. It's a good opportunity. They need to be able to get him out of this. The Earth Splitter pulls him back in, though, and Shad gets torn to pieces. Boom. He's going to have the same fate as his Alchemist, both dead, with OG closing in.
They call it. Yeah, I think
That's
this game was just, everything went out of hand. Shad dying all over the place. They just got, I mean, them getting these towers so early, the OG aggression, like 7-minute tower bottom, they could just, it opened up the map so much. They were like, we don't need to play in the lane anymore. We're just gonna run at you, kill, kill, kill. And Toby, up in that top lane, he got massacred. I actually have no idea how many deaths he had at the end there. It had to have been like over 8. Like, it really felt like